Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make some frangipane topped mince pies. So this is going to have a pastry base with mincemeat on top of that base, and then a frangipane on the top, and then they'll be baked in the oven. And for this I'm using a bun tin like this, which has quite a shallow cup. Now you could use a muffin tin, but if you use a muffin tin, you still need to cut the pastry out to the same size that I'm going to, which is about 3 inches 8 centimeters, and that will just about half fill the muffin cup. So I've actually greased my bun tin in preparation, and I'll go on to the ingredients. And for the pastry I have 150 grams, which is 1 cup based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of plain flour. I have 16 grams, 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. I have 75 grams in the fridge of cold butter. I'll get that out now. And I've cut that into cubes. That's unsalted butter, and that works out at 5 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon. I have half of a medium egg, which would be large in the USA. I've beaten an egg in and divided it into 2 halves, half for this and half for the frangipane. I have 10 milliliters, 2 teaspoons of water, but I may not need that, or I may only need a little bit of it, and a pinch of salt. And then for the frangipane I have 56 grams, which is a quarter of a cup of softened unsalted butter. I have 56 grams, which is half a cup of ground almonds. 60 grams, which is a quarter of a cup plus 2 teaspoons of caster sugar. Again, half of the egg, and then 2.5 milliliters, half a teaspoon of almond extract. And I'll put those to one side, I don't need those yet. And then for the mincemeat I'm going to use about 250 grams, which will be roughly 1 cup of mincemeat. And the first thing we need to do is to make our pastry. So I'm going to do this in the processor bowl of my immersion blender, and I'm going to put the salt into the flour, and then I'm going to tip that into my bowl, and I'm going to add the icing sugar, and then my cold butter, and I'm simply going to blitz those until they form a sort of coarse sand or a breadcrumb like structure. And that was quite easy. So then I'm going to pour in my half of an egg, and I'm going to process it again until it starts to clump together into a pastry dough. And if I need to, I will add a few drops of water at a time until that happens. So I'm going to add a little drop of water. And a drop more. And now I can see that's clumping together, and I've used probably a teaspoon of water. So I'm going to tip that out onto a piece of plastic wrap really, and I'm going to just form that into a disc. Like that. And then I'm going to roll it out straight away, and then I will chill it. So to do that, I'm going to use just a little bit of flour on my rolling pin and a little bit of flour on the dough, and I want to roll it out to a thickness of about 1/4 of an inch. And that's rolled out well enough there, so I'm going to simply cover that, and I'm going to put that into the fridge and chill it for 30 minutes. And as the 30 minutes comes to an end, I'm going to preheat my oven to 190 Celsius, that's 170 Celsius with a fan, 375 Fahrenheit, and then we'll be ready to cut the pastry into disc, put it into our bun tin, fill it with the mincemeat and make our frangipane for the top. As our pastry chills for a little bit, I'm going to make the frangipane, so I put my sugar into a bowl and I'll add the softened butter in as well. And I'm going to cream that together. You could do this by hand, it's very easy, but laziness dictates that I do it with my hand mixer. And then I'm going to add my half an egg in and my half a teaspoon of almond extract. I'm going to mix it again. And that's good enough, so then I'm going to add in the ground almonds and mix that until it's all combined. and that's nicely combined. So I'm just going to set that aside until I need it. My oven is preheating and my pastry has chilled, so I'm just going to cut out using about an 8cm 3-inch cutter. Some discs, and then I'm going to pick them up and put them into my tin like that. And re-roll the pastry and do it again. So there are my 12 rolled out, and I'm going to take about a tablespoon of mincemeat and put it into the base of each cup. I don't want to put too much in because we've got to put the frangipane on top, and if this is filled too much and you put too much frangipane, everything will spread. And then with those filled with the mincemeat, I'm going to take a scant tablespoon of the frangipane and put it onto the top of each one. As I said, if we put too much on, it will, because it will spread as it heats up, it will simply overflow. And then I'm just going to spread that roughly on the top. And I think that's good like that. So I'm going to put those into the oven and I'm going to bake them for about 20 minutes until the pastry cooks and the frangipane rises up and browns a little bit on the top. Then I'll take them out of the oven, leave them for a couple of minutes in the pan, then put them onto a wire rack to cool, and then I'll come back and show you the results. I baked the frangipane mince pies for 20 minutes. I actually left them in for 1 extra minute, 21 minutes, just to brown them a little bit more on the top, but 20 minutes would be fine. Then I took them out of the oven, transferred them to a wire rack, and I've now sprinkled over a little bit of icing sugar, just for effect really. So this is what they look like, and I've already bitten into one so you can see inside. So the pastry is nicely cooked, the top is nicely cooked, and the mincemeat's inside, so I'll have a taste again. It's very, very good. The sweetness of the mincemeat, and then the pastry, slightly crunchy. I get the taste of the almond from the almond extract that I put in as well. So this is a nice alternative to the more usual type of mince pie, and perfect for Christmas. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well. And I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.